Hello everyone, I'm Oscar from Heel Pictures. Another review at you, Nebraska. Just get straight to it. Directed by Alexander Payne, whose previous works consist of Sideways and The Descendants, and it also stars Bruce Dern, Forte, Squibb, and Bob Odenkirk. Stacy Keach is as well. Yeah, that's right, he's in it. And the plot of the film is basically Bruce Dern plays an old aging man who gets, you know, one of those not scam, but those like cheap little things that just say, "You've won $1 million" or something like that, and he believes it, and he has to go to Nebraska, and Forte plays his youngest son, and he kind of just takes him there just to kind of make him shut up about it. And on the way, it's kind of like a father-son road trip film. Now, this film is only just been re-released in the UK due to the fact that since it's been Oscar nominated, it's getting a lot of buzz. Recently got the awards, so it's been getting re-released in cinemas in the UK. I'm guessing so in the US as well. So I had a chance to see this because I didn't get a chance to see it when it originally came out at the 6th of December. And what are my thoughts on this film? This was such a great surprise. I am so happy that I saw Nebraska. Now, I have seen Alexander Payne's films, I've seen Sideways and The Descendants, and by far Nebraska is my favourite film by his. It was such a nice surprise. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. Wow, I really like Nebraska. Now I'm going to explain why I like Nebraska. First of all, I'm going to explain the acting. The acting was great in this film. Bruce Dern, I can see why he's nominated for Best Actor. He was great in the role, and I kind of believed that character, and he was so good. Squibb gave a very good performance as his wife. Bob Odenkirk was hilarious, as you may know him as Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad, which is how I know him from. He's so funny in this film. He's funny in Breaking Bad. He's funny in Nebraska. I really, really do like Bob Odenkirk in this film. Stacy Keach plays a good character, I think. He's good. He's good for what he needs to be involved in. And Forte gives one of the most underrated performances. I mean, you're hearing a lot about Bruce Dern and Squibb, but where's the love for Forte? Because between him and Bruce Dern, those two are the main characters. As I said, it's essentially a father and son bonding story between Forte and Bruce Dern. They work so well off each other. The chemistry is so great, and I truly do believe that they were father and son. Now onto another part of the film which I really did like. The cinematography. Oh wow, the cinematography was gorgeous. I mean, I feel the fact that it was in black and white as well, really, I don't know what about it, but the black and white just made it look better. There you go. It's like, it was a very brave choice for Alexander Payne to make this into a black and white film. But the film really used that to its element, and it just looks so good in this film, and it really plays well with the cinematography. I mean, just the long swooping landscape shots, the countryside just in black and white just looks so gorgeous. The soundtrack was great as well. This might be my favourite soundtrack of 2013, just because the soundtrack, it's like, I love the soundtrack in Gravity, I love the soundtrack in 12 Years a Slave. Even in Prisoners, I really like it, and in Place Beyond the Pines. But Nebraska, it feels like I can listen to the soundtrack on its own and enjoy it just as much as I would have done when I watched the film. Some soundtracks these days are great and all, but they sound like they can only be enjoyed while watching the film, and some of them just seem like, that sounds alright, but in the film it sounds really great. Nebraska soundtrack make just a very good mix of country type of vibe. This might just be because it's me, but it kind of reminded me of the end theme of Walking Dead Season 1, the game. You know, that end song when that thing happens at the end of Walking Dead Season 1. And it just... So that might have reminded me a bit, and that might have got me a bit more emotional, just because it kind of reminded me of the Walking Dead ending. The writing was also a fantastic part of this. A lot of the dialogue seemed... It felt real, which also played well to the acting. All the acting and the dialogue felt real. It's like, I could believe that Bruce Dern's character was a real person. I could believe Will Forte's character was a real person. I could believe June Squibb's character was a real person. I can believe near enough every single person in this film was a real character. The screenplay lent itself well because it had some good dramatic moments in it and it had some great comedic moments in it. There's a moment in the film where, I'm not going to ruin it, but where Bob Odenkirk and Will Forte do something for Bruce Dern's character, and the conversation after that between Bruce Dern and Bob Odenkirk was so funny. And the one thing I really do like about this film, when it gets dramatic, it's not overly dramatic. It feels right. It's like, again, it feels real. Nothing feels too cinematic. It just feels real. Even the dialogue that wasn't story driven and was just there to be dialogue, it was so good. It reminded me of something like Wes Anderson, where they just have a conversation and it doesn't really do anything for the story, but it's just so good. Or like a Coen Brothers film, like Big Lebowski. Felt so much like that. The ending just felt really nice and just felt like a very, very nice ending. And this was such a nice surprise for me, Nebraska. I love Nebraska. It's I wish I saw it in 2013. It would have been in my top 10 definitely. Overall I give Nebraska a thumbs up. If you get a chance to see it, definitely check it out. I don't think you can anymore, but when it comes on DVD or Blu-ray, get it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Links down below for Twitter and Facebook. Until next time, everybody, I shall see you later, and goodbye.